Tell him about how we met as well.
Yeah. we were in the same makeup truck. They filmed the same. It was when Alfie Allen was. You were leaving Winterfell, weren't you? And you were having your prosthetic bits adjusted as well, weren't you?
Yeah, they were doing. I don't know. They were doing something.
They were dusting something in around here. I don't know. I was having a huge prosthetic penis attached to me. We were in the same makeup truck. And it was also a matter of fact, honestly. That was not only the worst day of filming, it was probably the worst day of my life. I always tell this story now, aren't I?
What's that?
That horrible story about the pheasants.
Oh my god, you could tell the story about the pheasants.
Okay. So I was promised it would be a closed set, which means there's only the necessary people there, but it wasn't. There was like 200 people all stood in a circle. And they made this sort of, on the props list, it was prosthetics penis pants. So it was like this horrible flesh-coloured G-string with a huge dildo strap. And they had to plot it into my own pubic hair and sort of make it, and I was all stuck in with all this gum and glue, which took weeks and months to be removed from my own body, and with acid. Not really. Americans. Anyway. Sorry.
That was me. Okay,
let's go. So we arrived in this wooded glade, and there was all these fucking people, and it was raining. The generator kept going out, and I was like crouched in this shrub, with no clothes on.
I think no one enjoys this more than you.
I just love the way he describes he's hiding in the shrub.
Yeah.
Hidden in a bush.
And every time I would come out, and it was quite a short scene, but every time I would come out, there was like a pheasant on this side of the, and there was a pheasant on this side of the set, and they wanted to have sex, basically. So this one would go, "Rah!" and this one would go, "Rah!" And so we had to start the whole scene all over again. There's a child here. I've got my dick out. It's not really mine.
It's an R-rated, well, it would be an R-rated show. So.
Yeah, it was horrible. It was horrible, yeah.
How many hours did that take them?
Well, HBO really don't hurry anything, do they? They take forever to do everything. A 30-second scene will take days. That took a whole day. I'm coming out of a shrub.
Let's get a little more intellectual. A little bit. Your internal monologue when you're saying Hodor.
Well, it's actually quite a fierce internal monologue, because it's the only way that it's going to get externalized.
Yeah.
You know, I have to be like really thinking about what he's thinking, because there's no other way to do it. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm racing through thoughts, and sometimes I have to snap out of it afterwards. Like, I really have to turn my brain into a different direction.
Do you ever blow the scene by actually saying what you're thinking? No.
Extremely professional. Extremely professional. Seriously.
You know what your line is.
Yeah, I know what I am.
Okay.
I know when to say it. You know, it's not just like a Tourette's thing.
It's such I throw this to both of you, I guess. I mean, it's such an ensemble cast, and obviously a cast where some people come and some people go. What's the vibe like on set, knowing that there's so much to encompass in this world?
It can be intense. I think more and more as the seasons have progressed. I'm not going to say it's not fun, because it is fun, but it's definitely not the type of show you'll have a bloopers reel from, because they have so much expectation of the final product now. It's just like you have to get back to work, you have to get back to business. There's so much money being spent, but you know you have such, as you say, such top quality people and producers and actors, and yeah, it's just it can be quite intense sometimes. You have to put out such a high quality product.
Would you agree? I mean, it's a kind of feeling.
Yeah, although I think if there were going to be any outtakes, I'd probably be from my scenes. I mean, I felt kind of lucky, I suppose, in the sense that I got to be in, the storyline, not so much in season 3, for sure, but in season 1, it had like this feeling of, there's a great, even up until when when I left the show, there was like a great camaraderie. Like it sounds really cheesy, but it really is like a big family, and everyone gets on, I think, and you know, there's this real sense of like working together. There's, considering how many talented, incredibly like well-seasoned actors there are on the show, there's very few egos, which is massively refreshing. And yeah, I mean, especially in season 1, I got to be involved in some of the more light-hearted scenes that were a lot of fun to shoot. But yeah, there is that sense of, I mean, I know that in season 3, when I had some of the heavier shoots, it's, you know, it's hard. It's pretty intense, like you said, but I mean, it's the best job in the world.
I've talked to actors who've been on very kind of hard, serious, bloody movies, whatever, and they say oftentimes the vibe on the set is just the exact opposite of that, and it has to be. Because you're dealing with such heavy emotional stuff during the shoot, that when it's time to break, it's levity and jokes.
I don't know, yeah.
Yes, no?
I guess so. I didn't find that too much. I think on my death scene, I think there was a little bit of that on the day that we shot my death, but that was mainly because I just had to keep cracking jokes. I was in agony, so the only way to get through the day was to just be a jackass and, you know, really like making stupid jokes all the time about how I was dying and full of arrows. But I don't know, this day that we shot the baby scene, the death of the baby scene, that was like the weirdest day I've ever been on set, ever, anywhere. It was really, really, like, the nude scenes were like not awkward at all in comparison to having like a baby on set and you're pretending to slit its throat. It was really weird. And but I'll tell you what was funny is that the mother was like, ha 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 ha. She was like so jovial and happy and joking, and I'm like,
my baby's a star.
I'm like, exactly. And I'm like, yeah, it's having, we're pretending to slit its throat. This isn't at all weird.
Oh, that won't do any damage later in life, will it?